Boots is overrated.
Is Jaron Boots Ennis overrated? It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. Jaron Boots Ennis, is he overrated? Showtime Shawn Porter was on the Porter Way podcast, and he elaborated on what he meant by Jaron Boots Ennis being overrated. Now, a lot of people are saying a lot of things about Boots Ennis' fight against Karen Kukachan. We had come up with a nickname for this guy, Chook. We call him Chook. It seemed like they was calling him on the Porter Way podcast. They was calling him Chook. Go check out that full episode on the Porter Way podcast in its entirety. But Chook gave Jaron Boots Ennis a lot tougher fight than many people expected, right? Some may say he exposed Boots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is this the case for Jaron Boots Ennis? See, what I took away from it was Karen Kukachan was a guy that was going to still be there after he got hit. He was a guy that was going to give Jaron Boots Ennis a lot to think about. And to be quite honest, this is what I've been looking for, right? This is what I've been looking for. This is what I mean by getting hit in the mouth, right? And unfortunately for Jaron Boots Ennis, it just wasn't his best performance. But check out what Shawn Porter had to say on the Porter Way podcast and Jaron Boots Ennis being overrated.
When I said that Boots was overrated, 2 years ago now, this might have been
Might even
yeah,
might have been after Delorme. I can't remember.
Maybe even. Let me tell you guys. I just want to again address that real quick. I wasn't saying that he was overrated. What I was saying was that you guys hold him in such high esteem, and he hasn't gone through the
ringer
Abdullah Mason experience of being a young fighter going through some heat, a young fighter going through a knockdown, anything. I'm not saying that he got to get knocked down, but he got, what's his record? He's got almost 30 fights, right?
33-0 now with 29 knockouts.
He's 33-0, and out of those 33 fights, he's probably had his way. We can say he even had his way in this one, even though there were some things that just wasn't really firing the way that it was supposed to be firing. But I don't think he's had the necessary learning experiences along the way in his 33 fights to be able to be sharp against this guy, no matter who he is and no matter what's going on and all those sorts of things.
So do you think in fighting competition that he was several levels above, he fell into some bad habits, getting by on his talent and athleticism and not keeping things tight?
But not his fault.
No, I'm not saying it is.
This is boxing's fault because boxing tells us that we got to build a fighter. Now everybody got to be built. Like, he didn't have to be built. You just give it to him and he gonna knock it down. But if you keep giving that to him, eventually that was bound to happen because this is the only thing what y'all expect.
If they don't let the blade sharpen, it'll dull.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be a dull night for the young man.
Is it just me or he gained a world title and it did nothing? Gained him no more buzz than he had.
Unfortunately for him, the division is so much deader than it normally is. Normally there's always some glamour at welterweight, and there's not really right now.
If he said he was gonna move up, I would say, move up. Go on and move up.
Let that belt go.
There's two things I would tell him: move it to 154 and fight 3, if not 4 times next year. You need to get on a Raymond Ford type of.
And after hearing what Shawn Porter had to say, I agree. Jaron Boots Ennis didn't have the chance to really fight certain guys so we can kind of see him develop. He didn't have a chance to really get hit in the mouth until now against an unknown guy, vastly unknown to the general boxing public, not to us hardcore fans, but to the people in Philadelphia or what have you. They didn't know who this dude was. They just saw a random white dude with a beard, and he was up in there giving Jaron Boots Ennis the business. But us hardcore fans know better. Karen Kukachan is a game fighter. To be honest, he's probably one of the best guys at 147 pounds, if we're honest, right? But he gave Boots Ennis a tough fight. Pretty unknown guy, not necessarily known. So now it's going to be a narrative for Boots that he's overrated. Is Jaron Boots Ennis overrated? I don't know, you guys. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's rated right where he needs to be. Now, there was a lot of hype behind Boots, saying that he could beat Crawford, he could do this, he could do that. I'm not quite sure just yet. I think he has a lot of work to do. And he needed the fights over the years to kind of develop, right? You know, he was been having his way with everybody, and it's been easy work for Boots Ennis. But he needed some tough guys like Kukuchan. He needed more Kukuchans on his come up, if anything, right? But I'm not going to say Boots Ennis is overrated. I hope the young guy comes out and it's nothing like this ever happens again. But this is something that we needed to see. This is something that your boy Bushido needed to see. I needed to see Boots Ennis get hit in the mouth, and he got hit in the mouth. And I've learned a lot about Jaron Boots Ennis. I've learned that he didn't necessarily make adjustments. Not in this particular fight. He made in other fights, but in this particular matchup, what I could say is probably his toughest fight to date. He didn't necessarily make the proper adjustments to where he could have got through the fight cleanly without getting hit so much. He essentially abandoned his jab. Maybe Kukuchan just simply took the jab away from him. Whatever the case, Boots Ennis was throwing everything with power. And that's the thing that I noticed in that fight with Chuk. The thing I noticed the most about Boots is that everything was power. Everything was fast and hard. Kukuchan already got your timing and speed down since the bell rang, bro. I think if Jaron Boots Ennis learned how to relax, don't force the KO. I understand he was at the hometown crowd and all that, but you just got to let it flow. You know what I'm saying? Just let the fight flow. And I question, honestly, I really do question how good is his basic skills, right? I think if he had to just went back to the basics a little bit of fundamentals, he would have got through that fight a little bit smoother. Sometimes the flash and stuff is cool. We love to see it. But I think in other times, the basics would get you further along. But yeah, man, tell me what you guys think. Is Jaron Boots Ennis overrated? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.